Sam's home is not just a place where he lives. It is a field that either disciplines his intensity or multiplies it. And this is why Astrovastu becomes so powerful. Because when I look at Sam's chart, I am not starting with decor. I am not asking what color sofa looks nice. I am asking a sharper question. Which planets are running the psychology of this home? Which rooms are silently activating those planets? And where is the house either supporting or disturbing the soul? Sam has Scorpio rising. That alone changes the entire diagnosis. Scorpio Lagna is not light, casual, decorative energy. It is Mars-led, private, penetrating, protective, intense, emotionally deep, and transformation-oriented. A Scorpio person cannot live well in a house that is chaotic, exposed, leaky, cluttered, visually noisy, or energetically weak. The house must feel like a sacred fortress, warmed, private, controlled, and spiritually clean. If Sam's home is too open, too cold, too watery, too dark, too cluttered, or too full of broken objects, Mars does not become courage. Mars becomes irritation. Rahu does not become research power. Rahu becomes anxiety. Saturn does not become discipline. Saturn becomes emotional heaviness. Ketu does not become wisdom. Ketu becomes detachment. Moon does not become devotion. Moon becomes mood fluctuation. So the first principle is this. Sam's house must contain intensity, not suppress it. Now let us begin at the entrance. For Sam, the entrance is not just a door. It is the energetic command point of the home. Every time he enters, his nervous system receives a message. Am I safe? Am I in control? Is my life organized? Or am I walking into scattered energy? Because Sam has Ketu in the second house, the threshold becomes very important. The second house governs speech, food, family values, wealth storage, and self-worth. Ketu here can make speech sharp, family patterns karmic, food habits irregular, and savings unpredictable. So if the entrance is cluttered with shoes, old bags, broken objects, stopped clocks, or random storage, it directly aggravates this second house Ketu pattern. What should be done? Keep the entrance clean, strong, warm, and protected. Use a solid wooden door if possible. Use brass or copper hardware. Keep a clean nameplate. Keep the lighting warm and functional. Use terracotta, muted gold, deep maroon, earthy red, or copper accents. But in control, never in excess. What should not be done? Do not keep broken footwear, old brooms, rusted metal, stopped clocks, dead plants, or shoe clutter near the entrance. Why? Because these are stagnation signatures. For Sam, they attack money stability, family speech, confidence, and daily emotional tone. If you ignore this, the consequence is subtle but real. You may see more harsh speech, more emotional distance in family interactions, more money slipping without clarity, and more of that feeling, I am trying, but something is not settling. Now move to the foyer or porch. For Scorpio Lagna, the transition space must not expose everything immediately. This is not a chart that benefits from an overly open, showroom-style entrance. Sam needs containment. His space should allow him to enter, pause, reset, and then engage. So place a warm rug, one healthy plant, closed shoe storage, and one grounding object, maybe ceramic, wood, copper, or brass. Avoid mirrors directly facing the main door. Avoid aggressive red overload. Avoid dark, damp, neglected corners. Why? Because Scorpio absorbs subtle energy fast. A messy foyer becomes emotional noise. A clean foyer becomes psychic protection. Now the living room. This is where Sam's Mars, Rahu, Mercury, Moon, and Saturn all start showing their effects through human interaction. The living room is not just for guests. It is where the mind processes people. Sam has Rahu in Gemini in the 8th house. This is a powerful research signature. It gives occult intelligence, psychological insight, crisis handling ability, investigative thinking, and the capacity to read what others hide. But when disturbed, it becomes suspicion, mental loops, anxiety, overanalysis, sudden emotional reactions, and hidden nervous tension. So the living room must reduce Rahu noise. What should be done? Keep the living room warm, structured, and visually contained. Use one strong focal wall. Use wooden furniture. Use brass lamps. Use warm neutrals with deep earthy accents. Seating should feel intentional, not scattered. The room should allow conversation without confrontation. What should not be done? Do not keep too many mirrors. Do not allow exposed wires, broken electronics, random gadgets, or cluttered shelves. Do not use excessive blue-black palettes. Do not create a room that feels like 10 unfinished thoughts at once. Why? Because Rahu in the 8th feeds on visual disorder. If the living room is noisy, the mind becomes noisy. If wires are tangled, thoughts become tangled. If electronics malfunction, Rahu becomes restless. If mirrors multiply clutter, suspicion and mental distortion increase. The consequence of ignoring this is clear. Conversations become reactive, trust becomes fragile, and even small household issues can feel deeper, heavier, more complicated than they really are. Now the kitchen. This is one of the most important rooms for Sam. Because Sam is Scorpio rising, Mars rules the chart, and Mars rules fire, blood, courage, action, survival instinct, digestion, and decision making. But in Sam's chart, Mars sits in Pisces in the 5th house with Sun and Mercury. This is a very interesting combination. Mars in Pisces is not the same as Mars in Aries or Scorpio. Here the fire moves through water. It becomes imaginative, intuitive, spiritual, creative, and emotionally charged. But if unsupported, it becomes scattered, reactive, confused, passive-aggressive, or inconsistent. So for Sam, the kitchen is not just a cooking zone. It is the place where emotional fire becomes disciplined action. The best kitchen zone is southeast. The cooking direction should ideally face east. The stove must be clean, visible, and respected. Use copper utensils, brass accents, terracotta, warm cream, muted orange, coral, and controlled red. Keep knives clean, organized, and out of random sight. Keep the stove spotless. Keep the flame area free from clutter. What should not be done? Do not place water features in the fire zone. Do not use excessive blue or black in the kitchen. Do not allow leaking taps. Do not keep mirrors reflecting the stove. Do not keep rusted knives, broken appliances, or dirty counters. And very importantly, do not turn the kitchen into an argument zone. Why? Because for Sam, fire is already emotionally filtered through Pisces. If the kitchen is weak, fire becomes confusion. If the kitchen is dirty, Mars becomes irritation. If water dominates the fire zone, motivation drops. If mirrors double the flame, conflicts intensify. If the stove is neglected, vitality drops. The consequence: digestive sensitivity, emotional anger, creative inconsistency, money effort not converting into results, and family tension around food, routine, or responsibility. Now, the dining area. This matters because of Ketu in the 2nd house. The 2nd house is food, family table, speech, accumulated wealth, and values. Ketu here can create detachment from family rituals or blunt speech at the dining table. So the dining zone must be simple, clean, and grounding. Use a wooden table. Use warm lighting. Use clean crockery. Avoid cracked plates, broken glass, mismatched chaos, and eating while emotionally distracted. Do not let the dining table become a dumping ground for bills, bags, laptops, medicines, and unfinished paperwork. Why? Because then the 2nd house gets polluted. Food becomes anxiety. Speech becomes transactional. Family bonding becomes mechanical. The consequence of ignoring this is that money conversations become stressful, food habits become irregular, and the family zone loses warmth. Now the master bedroom. For Sam, the bedroom should ideally be in the southwest, or at least designed with southwest qualities: heavy, grounded, private, stable, and protected. Why? Because southwest is the Rahu zone, and Sam already has Rahu in the 8th house. That is a deeply psychological placement. It can give occult depth, investigative brilliance, attraction to hidden knowledge, and transformation through crisis. But it also brings hidden fear, subconscious agitation, sudden instability, disturbed sleep, and psychological intensity. So the bedroom must not excite Rahu. It must contain Rahu. What should be done? Use a strong wooden bed, heavy headboard, earthy browns, warm gray, clay tones, muted maroon, deep beige, and closed wardrobes. Keep the bed stable. Keep storage hidden. Keep the room warm, not dark. Keep lighting soft. Head should ideally be towards south or west. What should not be done? No mirrors facing the bed. No exposed clutter. No open shelves overflowing with personal items. No excessive electronics. No water imagery. No blue-black watery theme. No unstable or hollow bed frame. No storage chaos under the bed. Why? Because Rahu in the 8th needs grounding. If the bedroom is unstable, Rahu enters sleep. Then the person may wake tired, anxious, suspicious, or emotionally heavy. If mirrors face the bed, hidden insecurity gets multiplied. If electronics dominate, the nervous system never fully shuts down. The consequence is disturbed sleep, intimacy tension, subconscious fear, sudden emotional withdrawal, and feeling unsafe without knowing why. Now the study, or home office. This is another critical zone because Sam has Mercury with Sun and Mars in Pisces in the 5th house. Mercury in Pisces gives symbolic intelligence, imagination, spiritual thinking, and intuitive understanding. But Mercury in Pisces also needs structure. Without structure, it becomes mental fog. So Sam's study must be clean, bright, and organized. Best zones, north, east, or northeast. North supports Mercury and income flow. East supports clarity and confidence. Northeast supports wisdom and guidance. What should be placed? A clean desk. Organized bookshelves. A healthy green plant. Good task lighting. A planning board. One crystal or clear object for clarity. Keep technology minimal but functional. Manage all wires. What should not be done? Do not keep old phones, tangled chargers, broken gadgets, unread paper piles, torn books, dead plants, and random cables. Do not work from the bed. Do not let the desk face a dead, dark wall with no energetic opening. Why? Because Mercury is the nervous system of the home. If the north or study zone is cluttered, communication becomes blocked, analysis becomes foggy, planning becomes inconsistent, business decisions become delayed. And because Sam's Mercury is in Pisces, clutter will not just create mess, it will create mental diffusion. The consequence of ignoring this is simple. Excellent intuition, but poor execution. Good ideas, but delayed output. Deep intelligence, but scattered implementation. Now the creative room or creative corner. Sam's fifth house is heavily activated. Sun, Mars, and Mercury in Pisces. This is a major creative intuitive signature. The fifth house rules intelligence, children, mantra, speculation, romance, creativity, performance, and joy. So Sam must have a dedicated creative zone. It does not have to be large, but it must exist. Place art tools, writing tools, books, music instruments, spiritual study material, a warm lamp, and one clean visual anchor. Use pale gold, warm cream, saffron, light green, soft terracotta, and subtle spiritual imagery. What should not be done? Do not allow fantasy clutter. Do not keep too many unfinished creative projects visible. Do not use dark occult imagery in a way that pulls the mind downward. Do not overload this space with emotional objects. Why? Because Pisces' fifth house can create brilliant imagination, but also escapism. Mars here needs productive expression. Mercury here needs symbolic structure. Sun here needs creative recognition. If ignored, the consequence is creative frustration, emotional decision-making, inconsistent output, and feeling internally gifted but externally underexpressed. Now the Northeast. This is Sam's spiritual correction zone. Sam has Moon in Cancer in the ninth house. This is one of the most supportive placements in the chart. It gives devotion, intuition, emotional wisdom, connection to tradition, motherline sensitivity, faith, and protection through higher guidance. But this blessing needs a clean Northeast. The Northeast should be sacred, light, uncluttered, and peaceful. Place a small altar, one deity or yantra, a clean lamp, clear quartz, pale yellow or white cloth, spiritual books, and a meditation mat. What should not be placed? No shoes, no toilets if avoidable, no cleaning chemicals, no heavy storage, no leather, no mops, no dirty items, no heavy iron, no junk. Why? Because Northeast is the wisdom and blessing portal. If this zone is polluted, guidance becomes unclear. Faith weakens, decision-making becomes emotionally unstable. The person may have intuition, but no direction. For Sam, this is especially important because Moon in Cancer in the ninth can be a guardian placement. But if the Northeast is blocked, that guardian energy cannot fully operate. The consequence of ignoring this zone is loss of inner clarity, emotional confusion around life direction, and spiritual disconnection despite strong intuitive potential. Now the West and Saturn zone. Sam has Saturn in Aquarius in the fourth house. This is a serious home karma placement. Saturn in the fourth can make the home feel like responsibility, duty, emotional dryness, distance from comfort, property delays, or inner heaviness. But when handled well, it gives long-term stability, structure, property discipline, and maturity. So the West and storage zones must be extremely organized. What should be done? Keep the West clean, structured, warm lit, and functional. Repair broken clocks. Repair creaking doors. Remove rusted items. Keep storage closed and labeled. Use solid furniture. A working clock can be used as a symbol of disciplined time. Use warm lighting to prevent Saturn from becoming gloomy. What should not be done? Do not keep old shoes, stopped clocks, rusted iron, broken tools, old brooms, dead storage, abandoned boxes, or dusty corners. Do not allow the West to become the house graveyard. Why? Because Saturn punishes neglect. If the fourth house Saturn is aggravated through clutter, Sam may feel emotionally burdened at home. The home may feel heavy even when nothing is visibly wrong. The consequence is delay, fatigue, loneliness, property stress, emotional coldness, and the feeling that peace always comes late. Now the bathrooms and toilets. For Sam, drainage must be taken seriously because Pisces, Moon, Rahu, and Ketu are all active in sensitive ways. Water leakage can become emotional leakage. Drainage defects can become money leakage. Dampness can become mood instability. Best zones for bathrooms are generally west, northwest, or southeast depending on layout, but avoid northeast and center as much as possible. What should be done? Keep bathrooms dry, clean, ventilated, and odor-free. Fix leaks immediately. Keep drains unblocked. Use fresh light. Keep cleaning chemicals hidden and organized. What should not be done? Do not allow damp clothes to pile up. Do not ignore leaking taps. Do not let bathrooms smell stale. Do not keep spiritual items near toilet zones. Do not let the Northeast become a toilet zone without strong correction. Why? Because the chart has a strong water signature through Pisces and Cancer. Water must flow cleanly. If water stagnates, the mind stagnates. If water leaks, money and emotional peace leak. The consequence is anxiety, blocked cash flow, emotional fatigue, and family irritability. Now let me bring the entire diagnosis together. The dominant zones for Sam are 5. First, Southeast Kitchen and Fire Zone. This must be corrected because Mars rules the chart and sits in Pisces. Fire must become disciplined, not emotional. Second, Southwest Bedroom and Rahu Stability Zone. This must be corrected because Rahu is in the 8th. Hidden anxiety must be grounded. Third, West and Saturn Home Zone. This must be corrected because Saturn sits in the 4th. Home karma must become structure, not heaviness. Fourth, North Study and Mercury Zone. This must be corrected because Mercury in Pisces needs external order. Intelligence must become output. Fifth, Northeast Spiritual Zone. This must be enhanced because Moon in Cancer in the 9th needs a sacred container for faith and guidance. If these 5 zones are handled, Sam's home begins to work with his chart instead of against it. Now here is the practical blueprint. In the first 48 hours, remove broken items, old shoes, dead electronics, stopped clocks, rusted tools, cracked crockery, dead plants, damp clothes, and exposed wire clutter. Do not overthink it. Remove what is dead, broken, dirty, blocked, leaking, or emotionally heavy. In the first 7 days, correct the kitchen, bedroom, study, northeast, and west storage. This is not decoration. This is planetary triage. In the first 30 days, stabilize routines. Keep the stove clean. Keep the bed grounded. Keep financial documents organized. Keep wires managed. Keep the northeast sacred. Keep the west disciplined. Keep the southwest heavy and calm. Because for Sam, the home must not be a battlefield. It must not be a museum. It must not be a storage unit. It must not be a cold modern box. It must be a controlled sacred fire. Private enough to protect the soul. Bright enough to awaken courage. Grounded enough to stabilize emotion. Sacred enough to guide decisions. Disciplined enough to turn intensity into destiny. And this is the real promise of Astrovastu. When I read a home through the natal chart, I am not asking you to randomly change furniture. I am showing you why certain rooms disturb you, why certain corners drain you, why certain objects block you, and why certain spaces can become remedies. Your planets are not only in the sky, they are playing out through your entrance, your kitchen, your bedroom, your study, your storage, your dining table, your mirrors, your lights, your clutter, your leaks, and your sacred corners. So if you feel that your house does not support your peace, your prosperity, your relationships, your health, or your purpose, do not only ask, "What should I buy?" Ask a deeper question. Which planet is asking for correction through my home? If you want an Astrovastu reading that maps your birth chart into your living space, room by room, planet by planet, direction by direction, get in touch with me. Let us make a home for your soul, not a home that only looks good, a home that works for you.